Rise ye ashen tarnished chosen undead, and welcome Souls fans, new and old, to your next installment of the Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin Platinum Guide. So, in our last video, we beat the story of the game. So congratulations if it's your first time beating the game, you have beaten the game. Now, as with we haven't got a Platinum yet, but also we still have quite a bit to do for that Platinum, and in terms of content we've not addressed yet. So we have not beaten the DLC, we have not beaten the Dark Chaos dungeons, and that's what we're going to be doing before we go to our New Game Plus run. So the last thing we did in the video, after we completed our build and we bopped Nishandra and Vendrick, we then transferred here to Belfry Luna, where we are going to use a bonfire aesthetic. What is done cannot be undone. And the reason we're going to do this is because we are going to fight the Gargoyles again. And interestingly, so this is the Gargoyle related bonfire, so we've now lit that. However, we're not going to go to the Gargoyles from here. We're actually going to... where are you? We're going to go back to Servants' Quarters, so Los Bastille Servants' Quarters, and we're going to approach the boss from the same way we did before. This way we get to summon an NPC to assist us and take the aggro off. That's the main reason, to be honest. Just going to do a quick check. Am I human? Yes, I am. So obviously use a humanity if/as needed, because we are going to summon. Up down the ladder. Across we go. Oh, would help if we got our build back. Blossom Kite Shield, Magic Staff of Wisdom, and Dark Sunset Staff. And normally we would have our bow on, but we don't need that for this particular boss. When we go to the boss, I'll be switching the Corinthia Ring for the Ring of Steel Protection. As we have lit the bonfire aesthetic, we are essentially fighting them on New Game Plus difficulty. But the reason we're doing this is we're not going to... oh no, that's fine, that's the one there. Huh, hit the stone back. Good to know. The reason we're doing this is we're not going to come back to this area in our New Game Plus run, and we need 2 lots of Gargoyle souls for boss weapons/items. Get the Dark Staff out. As you saw, Halberd wasn't doing much against these guys, so... Dark Orbs will do the job nicely. Spam, spam, spam. Door is already open. We open that, that does not reset, so we don't have to climb the ladder, which means we don't have to deal with the barrage of Bellkeepers up the top there. So we can go straight to summoning Masterless Glenclaw, get our Magic Staff and our Soul Spears ready for maximum amount of damage that we can represent in one hit. Make sure Glencore follows you all the way to the fog. Don't want him getting stuck somewhere and then turns out he's not going to come in and take the aggro. So as you can see, the other advantage of Soul Spear is we can try and get multi-hits in, where we're hitting multiple Gargoyles with the same spell. And look at that, already how much easier this boss is, even though they have more health. Go on, Glenn. That's it. Tip the aggro. Good work. Last one. Soul Spear's pretty good. Look at that. That's why. Why did I not write in notes that that's the most important thing you get from this boss, the Covetus Gold Ring 2? Silly, silly Drew. I must have put that in there. I've put in equip the Covetus Gold, but I didn't put in there that that's why we're fighting them. Silly man. Right. Silliness aside. Oh yeah, you're there now. Well, let's just feather in that case. Okay, so farming part 1 achieved, which is we've got the Covetus Gold Ring plus 2, because what we are going to be doing is our Sunlight Metal farm. What we next need to do is we need to farm for the Prisoner's Tatters body armor. So to do that, we're going to go to the gutter, upper gutter. If you already have the Prisoner's Tatters, then you don't need to do this farm. Right, head Jester's Cap, which maximizes item discovery for... And that's why we want the Prisoner's Tatters, which essentially is just a loincloth, so I'm pretty sure I don't have them. Yep. And shield, we need the Watch Dragon Palmer, because that also increases your item drop, even though it doesn't say it. And then lastly, Ring of Blades, replace that with our newly acquired Covetus Ring plus 2. So this is almost optimal item farming. The last thing we need is what we're farming for here, which is the Prisoner's Tatters. So all I'd say is get out. Actually, no, we'll just soul spear them. We need the shield equipped. Okay then. And all we're going to do is we're going to just pop these 3, drop down, pop these 3, in the hopes that we get our Prisoner's Tatters. Do I end by jumping on that guy? He's got a torch, so he's more likely to drop a torch. Nope, so there we go. You're welcome to go further down, but literally all we're doing is farming for the clothing that they're wearing. They really want to drop this poison throwing knife, huh? More poison throwing knife. There you go, Prisoner's Tatters. It's not that difficult to drop, so it shouldn't take you too many runs more. So two runs for me was all it took. Hopefully you either already have it, or it shouldn't take much more than that. This is not the difficult part of the run. So now we have it. Prisoner's Tatters. Oh, no. Treasure raises item discovery, so that's what we want there. Right, so rings, Covetus Gold 2, third Dragon Ring, Chloranthy 1, and we can replace Royal Soldiers with Northern Ritual Band +2. Gonna head back to Majula. Yeah, we look pretty safe. What am I doing? Reinforce. Witch Tree Bellvine and just get it as high as you can is essentially the plan. In theory you should be able to get it to at least +5. Need large shards, so I need 1 for this and then we need so I need 4 large shards. Are you selling large shards yet, or am I going to have to go to Macduff?
You've been well.
There we go, that's what we like to see. Oh no, she has... Oh no, infinite, yeah. 4 of those. While I'm here, I'm also going to purchase the remaining Twinkling Titanites that she has.
Visit me again.
Reinforce. So I now can upgrade Dark Sunset Staff to +5. And let's get Witch Tree to +6. +7. There we go.
I'll be around.
Replace the Dark Staff with the Witch Tree Bellvine. At 50%. Yeah, no, that registers as below 50.01, so that's good. Attune and replace Dark Orb with Soul Appease. Right, there it is. And then I just remove the other Dark Orb because we're not using anything to cast it really. So Soul Appease. And then we're going to travel to Brightstone Cove. Why can I not find Brightstone Cove? There we go. Brightstone Cove, Royal Army Campsite. Don't need the Dark Scythe. Okay, so we need to get, and I don't think I've got any at the moment. Nope. So we need to get 30 Sunlight Medals, 30. The Falconers are the ones that drop them, and what we're going to be doing is abusing the fact that we can get at least 2, but realistically 3 kills per farm in very quick succession. So what we do, we come over to these stones, and we use Soul Appease. That sometimes will also kill the one by the fire, but that will kill the one in the tent. Then Soul Spear, and then where's the last one? There he is. Right. Hey, Sunlight Medal number 1. The others didn't drop. And we're going to do this until we get to 30. So, as with previous item farms, make sure you keep a count. Obviously, you can just check your inventory this time as opposed to the Mad Warrior kills. There you go, there's the drop. No item inside. That's what's supposed to happen. No item. And back we go. When you get to, and I want to say it's somewhere between 10 and 14 Sunlight Medals, the only item the Falconers drop is going to be Sunlight Medals. However, to begin with, they have a chance of dropping their weapon, shield and armor as well. So the further you go into the Sunlight Farm, the more success you have with item drops. Oh, medal number 2. Doesn't really matter if we die. Lovely, let us rest. If need be, you just have to run back if they do aggro you like that. I have not been fortunate enough in my 2 test runs, and well, yeah, in my 2 test runs, I was not fortunate enough to have 2 drops ever in the same cycle. Hopefully, it's going to be a lot easier and quicker for you. But this is definitely, in terms of the speed it takes, excuse me, the speed it takes to get 3 kills. This is, by my reckoning, the fastest you could possibly farm for Falconer drops. And yes, there are more Falconers in the area, however, all you're doing is you're aggroing those pig things, and it's probably just quicker just to quickly go back to the bonfire, fight these 3 again. So it's definitely my approach. You are welcome to farm however you see best fit. But at least for me, this definitely seems like the most efficient way of killing Falconers. No, bad piggy. Look how tanky these things are, it's ridiculous. Oh, it is a Sunlight Medal. Wow, yeah, we'll take that. I was genuinely ready for it to be anything but a Sunlight Medal. Lovely. By playing offline, you increase the drop rate of rare items. So you are actually more likely to come across Sunlight Medals by playing offline than you would be online. But if you're playing online, you know, the reason that they do that is, the theory is that online you're going to be gaining them by doing co-op summons for bosses. two are... Oh, no, there we go, we've got a drop on that one finally. I was going to say, these two are just not dropping. And the first time you do, you drop boots. In fact, what we could do, because why not? Let's put on the Jester's gloves. And we might as well put on the Silver Serpent ring. Might as well, as few souls as it is, might as well just maximise them, because as you can see, we're not really worried. We're not even worried about being killed, to be fair, because we're so close. Oh no, that's not going to hit. I forgot an important step to our farm. So, something we definitely need to do. We did not join the Covenant of Champions. I will definitely have to put that into the top of the description. So in previous videos, if you recall, there is an enemy spawn limit of 18 times. Once you kill an enemy 18 times, it will no longer spawn. By entering the Covenant of Champions, what it does is, while you are part of that covenant, your game difficulty increases by 1, so we are now New Game Plus everywhere. Everywhere we'd already increased it, like Belfry Luna would now be New Game Plus Plus. However, the trade-off is that enemies now infinitely spawn, so we don't have to worry about, after we kill the Falconers 18 times, what happens next. Wow. The range on this part is so intricate. Nope, nope. Yeah, Sunlight Medal number 4. Only 26 to go. Yeah, it is definitely my biggest off-put to doing a platinum for Dark Souls 3 without abusing co-op is offline item farming. Can I get you through the thing? No, should be able to get you through the thing, but I can't. So Dark Souls 3, you need to farm 3 sets of Covenant item up to 30 and an additional 2 up to 10. In particular, why? Oh, Covenant of Champions, that's why you're not auto-dying. But yeah, so in particular, for Dark Souls 3 is the Vertebrae Shackles, which you get for killing an invader. There is only one type of enemy that drops that particular item. It has a 2%. That's why, that's what we're supposed to do, is double soul. Armor. Sunlight Medal, Yeah, sunlight medal number 5. So yeah, the red-eyed sharp bleed skeleton in the crypt drops with a 2% chance a vertebrae shackle. In my Dark Souls 3 Platinum playthrough, to grind that offline, I spent pretty much a week's worth of gaming sessions. So that week I was off work, I was ill, I had COVID, and what I did with my COVID was I grinded vertebrae shackles. So for about 4 hours a day for 6 days, that's how long it took. I think it was even more than that, to be honest. Or it definitely felt like it. But yeah, it was so tedious. In fact, I definitely recall, I think 2 of those days where it was like 8-hour sessions. Not in one go, but when you can't really do anything else, why not? But yeah, that is my biggest turn off for advice. You know, if anyone says, "Oh, I'm thinking of platinuming Dark Souls 3," the first thing I would say is, right, get someone to either do. Oh, we got 2 for that. Get someone to either do the NPC boss related trophies and drops, or even better, get someone to drop the rings and weapons for you, because that's all you need to do it for, and it counts. And that would make it much better, much more interesting. So yeah, so after Dark Souls 2, oh, that's not what I need to do, that's what I need to do. After Dark Souls 2, the next series that I will be doing is going to be Lies of P. Thoroughly enjoyable platinum. Not too long if you utilize save files. So uploading saves to cloud. So it's weird, it either hits the one in the tent and kills the one in the tent, or it hits them both, kills the one on the left and not the one in the tent. Dark Souls 2 logic. And we're hitting drought after number 5. I have seen, when I was trying to put the guide together for the Sunlight Metal Farm, I have seen so many homebrew theories about how to increase the drop rate. None of which are actually proven. It's just people, you know, kind of like, as they say, old wives' tales or mother's tales is what I believe the expression to be. But people saying, oh yeah, if after you get this many, or after this amount of time, warp somewhere else, warp back. Oh, I closed the console, I reopened the console. So not even closed the game, no. They turned the console off. The fact of the matter is it is a fixed percentage chance drop. And that is all there is to it. Every single kill has a chance of dropping it. The only thing that improves is, as I mentioned, once you collect somewhere between 10 and 14, I can't remember what that number is, but once you've collected that many, the only item they drop will be the Sunlight Medal. Nearly got the 2. Nope. And Sunlight Medals in Dark Souls 1, they did so well with it. You get a chest of 3 every run. You need to get to that chest twice anyway. No, Drew, wrong spell. Now it's too close. Now you're gonna die. Yeah, so farming because you can also summon Solaire and get Sunlight Medals for killing bosses and Solaire staying alive. Each run you get a Sunlight Medal when you open the cell. What is his name? It's not Creighton, that's in this one. I can't remember his name now. The gold-plaid guy that you always kick off the ledge to get the best ring in the game. The Ring of Fap. Favor and protection. But that, plus if I recall, you only need 10. Yeah, you only need 10 Sunlight Medals in Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 2, they introduced the idea of, no, you want 30 of those, and then Dark Souls 3 says, oh yeah, not only do you need 30 Sunlight Medals, but you need 30 of everything else as well. Because they clearly decided that they made Covenants too easy in Dark Souls 1 and 2. No, every now and again you go through these item drought moments, and there's nothing we can do about it. No to your bow and arrow. Really? I don't know why it does this sometimes. Just make it quicker and just do the 2. Then I don't even have to worry about the pigs or anything. Come here. Yeah. Yeah, that just makes sense. Yeah, one less enemy to drop, but the time save not faffing with the timing of the last enemy. I do not want boots. I want Sunlight Medal. Please give me Sunlight Medal. Sunlight Medal. No sunlight medal. But yeah, Liza P, I'm not normally one to use save uploads. In a way, it kind of feels like, well, it is cheating in terms of it's not what the game developers intended. But by doing so, you do get to avoid having to go through a full run just for your platinum. In the video, I'm going to suggest you have the option of doing a save reload, or you know, you're just going to have to do a play again and get to the same point, doing the same things a second time to then do them differently. So essentially, there is your first run where you could use a save file to get a second ending. Then there is your new game plus run after that, where you then get the last ending. But then there's, is it 4 endings, or is it just the character parts? Bad, good, and best. Yeah. Speaking of bad, Dark Souls 2 unpredictability. You seem to drop more. Maybe we do kill you. No. I don't want your gloves. I want your medal. Good falconer. Couldst thou please drop me 25 more sunlight medals? So there are 2 other areas where you could farm falconers. One is by the shaded woods. If you recall, there were so there's 5 falconers there, so there are more falconers that you can kill. However, from a time investment perspective, I find it is quicker to kill these 3, go back and kill them again. In that time, you've probably killed 5 the other way. And the other way, they attack you. Although you're not really at threat of being killed, but especially if you're just going to kill these 2 and then redo it like that, then definitely quicker. The other is actually the things betwixt bonfire, the first bonfire. If you go back to where you first started, see, why does it? If you go back to where you first Fine. No, you don't make sense. The sunlight medal, I won't care though. Nope, a falconer helm. That's not what I asked for. But yeah, where you first appear, so before you actually got to customize your character, so in that area, there are a bunch of I'm going to call them advanced falconers. They actually have falcons. This makes no sense. I swear they just keep making up the range for soul appease. But yeah, they actually have falcons, and they throw the falcons at you to do quite a fair chunk of damage. So that is the other area where there are a number of falconers that you can attempt to farm against. Pop. Oh, got a pig. But yep, sadly, I've even got it in my notes, farm 30 sunlight medals. Yes, it sucks. But item farming is often part of platinuming, especially when it comes to roleplay or roleplay-like games, dungeon crawlery type games. Oh, 2 opportunities. Yeah, sunlight medal number 6. 7. Come on. Ah, too good to be true. But you could drop it, couldn't you? To compensate for dodging that spell. No. But we got number 6. Back on track. The drought has finished. Now show me that you can do it again. I don't understand. My toe wasn't maximum distance to the wall. My little toe wasn't touching it. Shiny trousers. Hop. No item. And rinse and repeat. 24 more drops. As you can see, unfortunately it does make me go a bit doolally eventually when you're just repeating the same kills again and again in the hopes that they drop the item that you want. I mean, it's one thing, it's like for the prisoner's tatters, we kept killing, but we only needed 1. And at that point you almost accept, oh, okay, it's a rare drop. It's, even I was saying about the vertebrae shackles in Dark Souls 3, it's a 2% drop. Getting 1, I would say, is fair enough. 10, annoying as anything, is going to take you 3 days worth of gaming sessions, but 30? And similar here, in my opinion, with the sunlight medals, is, I mean, I greatly appreciate that they, if you look at Demon Souls, the Demon Souls remake, there are 2 trophies you can only get online. You cannot complete that offline. And for a one-player game, yes, it's a community game. Yes, the community help each other and explain where to go and what to do. But it's not a co-op game. In fact, you can't even summon people to just generically play with you. It is pretty much you summon someone to do the bosses if you want to do boss co-op. So it's a one-player game, and I think it's really bad that you then force people to do online trophies. At least, you know, the Souls 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're rocking now. At least Souls 1, 2, 3, you can get everything offline. They at least give you that, as opposed to Demon Souls, which does not. You have to assist another player in defeating a boss, and you have to defeat an invader, whether that be they summon you into their world and you kill them, or they appear in your world and you kill them. So it's a game that the longer the game is released for, the less players there are, and therefore the harder it is to get a platinum. Without someone else having the game, and you kind of abuse that as a cheaty way around it. But I just think it's really bad. Almost as bad as farming for 30 or something. But at least the intention of Sunlight Medals, you get them for assisting someone else in fighting a boss. You put if you're playing online, you put your summon sign in front of a boss door, and then someone who's either struggling with a boss or just wants to fight a boss 2-on-1 can then summon you, so long as you survive and the boss is defeated. There's number 9. Then you get your Sunlight Medal. But again, the older the game gets, the less people that play it, sadly. Yeah, right, that was number 9, wasn't it? Number 9, yep. Closer to the wall. There we go. Killing the falconers with my miracle. Well, all of the extra armor sets and everything else, that's ultimately Gavlan fodder. Not that we particularly need to worry about economy anymore, because we got ourselves to level 250 a couple of videos ago. Some Sunlight Medals. Yeah, sadly, because of the archers and the warthog pig things, If it wasn't for them, then realistically we could just go to town on all of the ground-based falconers. But the problem is, once you go into the courtyard, you've got two of those warthog things which are more tanky than falconers are, and they just rush you down. And then you've got falconers rushing you down, and then you've got archers shooting at you. You know, our health bar's only whittle, and we don't have much defense given that we are wearing a piece of string. And don't get me wrong, I could completely imagine that someone has gone raving in something remotely similar to this. Iron cleats, jester's hat, and a piece of string across the body. I did say that farming sunlight metals makes me silly and ruins any sense of humour that I had. Falcon shield, that's not our 10th sunlight medal. Looking forward to the point where, I'd say, somewhere between 10 and 14, when you see an item and you know it's a medal. So at that point I might start killing the third one again. Because I don't mind running into the pigs when I know it's a guaranteed sunlight medal. I don't mind killing him when he's walking away towards the little wooden rampart. It's nice and easy then. You don't have to dodge, it doesn't take long. See, I had a feeling that this farm was going to take a while because in my test run before I started recording, it was so quick. And it was only recently on that run that I then switched to this farm over the Shaded Woods farm. And I was like, oh wow, there's much better drop rates here. And I fell into the trap because obviously drop rates are the same everywhere. It's just some runs you're lucky, other runs you're not. Because this is the second character, thanks to the Mirror Knight debacle on the first character attempt, the Mad Warrior farm was actually, it was somewhere in the region of like 50 minutes, which if we consider that on this video series where that was done with the first character, oh, I don't want gloves. Got a sword. Well, that worked out. We nearly died, but we killed them both. But neither of them dropped me a sunlight medal, so boo. But yeah, I think in the video series it took like an hour and a half? Similar to Dark Souls 1, it's the Silver Knight farm. I did 3 test runs for that series to really nail out the pathing and the most efficient way of getting the platinum. And on the second one, so the one before I started, the penultimate before I started recording, I actually got all of the Silver Knight equipment on, I think it was like the third run. And it was actually one of the reasons why I had to do another run, was because I went, well, but now that ruins the leveling, because I'm expecting that you have to do somewhere in the region of like 35-40 minutes worth of farming on these Silver Knights. Yeah, the what was supposed to be the confirmation run went too smoothly. I was like, well, I can't guarantee this. This is not replicatable. So I then had to do a third to go, right, what's the average, or what's kind of the minimum number of souls that we're going to aim for here. Yeah, there's number 10. And then worked with that, and then I said in the video, I said, look, even if you get the items, you need to keep farming for these stats before you fight Ornstein and Smoke. Okay, well, that's nearly the end of time for this video. So with 10 Sunlight medals, we are going to end this one here and move on to the next video where we continue to farm the remaining 20 Sunlight medals. So hopefully that will be nice and quick. Hopefully your Sunlight medal farm goes faster, smoother, better than mine. And hopefully I see you in the next video. As always, please do like and subscribe. It means so much to me. Only do so if you are finding this informative, amusing, or in any other way useful to you whatsoever. Hopefully your platinum journey is coming along nicely, and I can't wait to get to your platinum trophy for Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. So thank you as always for watching. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye for now.